good afternoon, good morning, good evening, at whatever part you are watching us from or whatever time this video gets to you. Welcome back to Tsalwa. Here we are about vulnerability, acceptance, and hope. If it is your first time here, please take some time and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that anytime we post any new content, you'll be able to be part of it. So if you are a returning subscriber, asante sana. Please guys, follow me on Instagram at Tsalwa, TikTok at Tsalwa, and Facebook at Tsalwa. We are Tsalwa everywhere, and it is good to have you here. So several reactions on our previous video, but today we continue. Remember, here we are about vulnerability. We say things as they are, and we hope that God helping us, that we are going to be a transformed people waiting for the second coming of Jesus Christ. So if you're not born again, please consider having a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now we continue with our topic on sex and sexuality, and today we talked in our previous video we really went into issues on heterosexual relationship and any other form of sexual relations, and we actually discussed that it is only heterosexual relations that God allows, and that is absolute, because what God says, it's final, it's the truth, and that is the truth that we want to live, because we do not have our own truth. Any other truth, it can be debated, but the truth of God cannot be debated. Now, what are the factors contributing to other forms of sexual relations? Of course, now we are not talking about the absolute sexual relationship, which is sexual relation between male and female. We are talking about sexual relations with when female decide to have sexual relationship with their fellow female, or male decide to have their sexual relations with their male, or any other form of sex, or animal, or so on and so forth. So what are some of the factors that contribute to that? And allow me to say that the first one and the biggest one is disobedience and rebellion against God. You know, when people decide, or when I decide to do that which is contrary from what God says, then I have decided to disobey and rebel against him, the Creator. And of course, I can argue and decide, and sometimes decide to waver away from the faith and do all those other things that I would want to do. But the bottom line of issues or factors that lead or want to these other sexual relations is disobedience and rebellion against God. Because people actually know. People actually know. And there's no way, you know, female and female cannot have babies, cannot procreate. They cannot subdue the earth, multiply. They cannot. It's only male and female. Anyway, let me leave that. If you not watched the previous video, please go back and watch it. So that is factor number one. But factor number two, that is very dearly, and I've talked about it in our previous videos. You can talk about it because I am a survivor of this one. It is outdated cultural practices. Outdated cultural practices. And one of these outdated cultural practice is FGM on the girl child, FGM on women. So that is an outdated. It leads one to a lot of severe pain that may make them now begin to make other decisions that may make one decide, well, I have been ripped off of my normal sexuality, ability to live normally, so why wouldn't I not watch the other, go to the other side, because of the pain that these people get to know. But also we would not want to forget that another factor, and this one mostly affects the boy child, is sodomy and defilement. Of course, all these things in our country in our country, Kenya, in Africa, here it is very illegal. It's not acceptable. So, but it happens. So those are some of the things when a boy is sexually assaulted and abused and defiled when they are young. They grow up thinking probably they are good for nothing, or want to also experiment and get to know what that was. So that causes a lot of pain. And to know, in naturally, it is not easy to talk about sexual pains, sexually related pains. I mean, people don't talk about sodomy. People don't come out and say defilement. Even when those cases are being aired, nobody brings their face to say, I was defiled, or I was raped, or I was sodomized. People don't say. They die with it from within. It's something that keeps on affecting them from within, but they do not talk about it, and it keeps eating them up. It keeps affecting them. So most of the people, so some of the people resort into getting into the same-sex relations as an expression of that pain. But also we have another one that is very key, which is broken families. I mean, some of the children or people have lived in homes and in families where war is part of the day. I mean, there's a lot of abuse. They have seen their father being abused by their mother. They have seen their father going through all sorts of things. So if there are sons growing up in that kind of an environment, they hate a heterosexual relationship, and they would rather have the same sex relationship. If it is a girl who has grown up in a home where the mother was abused by the father, they grow up with a preconceived or a formed opinion of how men are, and they do not want to engage. And because of that, they choose this other lifestyle. We say it's actually an alternative lifestyle from what they have been denied. It's just like the way you have a certain supplier, or you use certain products of a certain company, and then probably one affects you. You don't stop using that product. What you do is that you look for an alternative. So same-sex relations or other forms of ungodly relationships look like they are a solution to those that are ailing, Now, another factor is those that are sexually vulnerable. And when I say those that are sexually vulnerable, I mean that those people that have been were born or have been born with a sexual disability, probably it's somebody born in between, something like that. Allow me to use that term. Grow up knowing this is it. I am like this. I cannot be able to change. I cannot be able to become anything else. I am both male and female, and for that to begin to explore both genders. And of course, the societal expectations and all those things. Of course, those are just but a few of the factors contributing to that. But now the second question here on this video that we would want to address is there hope for them that are engaged and probably already addicted and probably in it? Is there hope for them that are in the same sex or attracted to the same sex relation? Yes, there is hope. There is hope. God does not count your sin against you unless you just choose to live in that sin. When you choose to live in that sin of same-sex relations, which God does not approve, you know God is not with you. But when you choose to turn around and follow the plan of God, the truth of God, without exchanging it with any lie that you get from this universe, then God is able to deliver you and to restore you. He's a God of second chance. He's a God who restores. He's a God that is able to heal you from cultural pain that you have carried along with you. You know, if it is sexual abuse that you have carried with you, is it a disability or whatever it is, there's nothing that is too big for our God. Is there hope for you? Yes, there is a hope. There's hope for you. The Bible says, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. If only you turned back to him. But also you need also to acknowledge that I am living in sin and I am living in disobedience, because that will lead you and that will help you in getting back to God, and being able to live for him. Allow me to stop this video at this point. Thank you for your engagement. We truly appreciate. Here at Tsalwa is a bye-bye till next time. God bless you.